guys, welcome to Project U Yoga. We are going to get started today on your mat in a seated position, anywhere where your spine is straight so that the energy is able to flow through your spine. You can be seated cross-legged, maybe you're on your knees in hero's pose, whatever feels most comfortable for you, that's where you should be. Once you're in that position, just go ahead and roll your shoulders back and down, sit up nice and tall, and then gently close your eyes. Start to just bring your awareness to your body. Notice how it feels. Notice if you're holding on to any tension or tightness in your shoulders. Let it just roll away. And start to bring your awareness into your breath. Just start to recognize how it feels when you inhale and how it feels when you exhale. Now we're going to start to bring some control into your breath. Focus on taking longer inhales and become active within your exhale, pressing out that stale air at the bottoms of your lungs. Focusing on pressing our breath into the sides of our rib cage to press our ribs out to the side, allowing our breath to push slightly down into our belly, but really focusing on that width that happens within our rib cage. We're going to begin our practice by taking 3 big breaths together. Go ahead and let all the air out of your lungs first to be prepared. Then take a full breath in through your nose. Big open mouth exhale. Full breath in through your nose. Big open mouth exhale. One more full breath in through the nose. And big open mouth exhale. Gently blink your eyes open. We're going to swing your legs around to one side and find yourself in child's pose. You're going to come back to the rear of your mat with your toes together to touch behind you, your knees out comfortably wide. Go ahead and reach and extend your arms out long in front of you. Go ahead and melt your chest and your heart and your forehead all the way down onto your mat. In this position, really allow your hips to sink back towards your heels. Try to relax everything through your legs. You might feel stretching happening through your ankles, your knees, your hips, your low back. That might transfer all the way up through and into your shoulders. Lean into that. Stay connected to your breath here. One more inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, walk just your hands halfway the distance back towards your knees so that your chest lifts all the way up and off of the mat and your lower half still stays in child's pose. Now our arms are extended out long in front of us, holding us upright on our mat. Our core is strong and engaged. On your next inhale, reach your right arm up nice and high to the sky. Look up through your hand. And as you exhale, sweep that arm through, up and underneath the other arm. Gently rest all the way down onto your mat. We're feeling a nice stretch here through your shoulder, through your spine. Do whatever feels comfortable here with your left hand. You can reach and extend it out long if that feels good. Maybe you sweep it to the low back. Again, just go with your comfort. Do what feels right for you. Again, we're staying connected to our breath here. On your next inhale, press through your left palm, reach your right arm all the way up. And as you exhale, return that hand down to your mat. Inhale, reach your left arm up. And as you exhale, thread the needle. Sweep that arm through underneath your right, and then gently rest all the way down onto your mat. On your next inhale, press through your right palm, reach your left arm all the way back up. As you exhale, return that hand back down to your mat. Next, we're going to transition into a tabletop position. So just go ahead and lift your hips up over the tops of your knees. Step your arms out until they're right up underneath your shoulders. In this tabletop position, again, our shoulders are underneath our wrists, and our knees are stacked directly below our hips. Our core is tight and engaged. It's kind of pulled up and in. We're strong through that core. We're strong through our breath. On your next inhale, we're going to flow through cat-cow. So as you inhale, lift your gaze, lower your belly, reach your tailbone up nice and high to the sky. As you exhale, tuck your chin into your chest, reach your spine high, round your tailbone up and underneath. Inhale, back to cow pose. And exhale through cat. Inhale. And exhale. One more full breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back into that tabletop position here. Again, really firmly engage your core. We're going to step your hands out one step out in front of you. Press all 10 fingers down into your mat. Hold on and grip that mat. Tuck your toes up and underneath. Send your hips up and back to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, we're here quite often throughout our practice. So again, make sure that you're gripping the mat with all 10 fingers. You're aiming your armpits back towards your thighs. You're lifting your hips and you're driving down with your heels. Maybe you pedal out through your feet here just to loosen up a little bit. Now on your next inhale, we're going to send your right leg up nice and high to the sky. As you exhale, sweep that foot through between your hands. Soften your left knee and foot down onto your mat. And inhale, both arms up to rise. Now in this position, I'm going to turn towards you here. In this position, I really want you to make sure that you're feeling a nice stretch through your hip flexor. Now you have the option here to bring your arms down into a cactus position if that's more comfortable on your neck and shoulders versus having your arms up. No matter what though, pull your shoulders down and away from your ears and engage the muscles in the middle of your back, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Our core is strong, okay? What I want you to notice is you can even take your hands if you need to. Feel if your rib cage is flared out. If it is, tuck that down into your torso so that there's no flaring of that rib cage. Everything is strong here. We want a connection. Tuck your tailbone underneath, press firm through your front heel. Stay strong and focused on your breath. On your next inhale, reach up, look up. As you exhale, bring your hands to either side of that right foot. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, step your hands and your hips back to half split hamstring stretch. Inhale, pull forward. Exhale, press back, getting a nice hip opener here. Inhale, pull forward. And exhale, press back. On your next inhale, walk your hands up towards the top of the mat. Plant both palms. Tuck your left toes up and underneath and send your right leg back to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Pedal out your feet if you need to. On your next inhale, send your left leg up nice and high to the sky. As you exhale, sweep that foot through between your hands. Soften your right knee and foot onto your mat. Inhale, both arms up to rise. Same option here to exhale your arms down into that cactus position. Again, it can just take some of that tension off your neck and shoulders. We're squeezing our shoulder blades back and down towards the center of our spine. Maybe you take your hands again, feel if that rib cage is flaring. If it is, tuck it down into your torso, make that connection. Tuck your tailbone underneath, press firm through that front heel. Everything is turned on here. On your next inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands come down to either side of that left foot. Take an inhale. As you exhale, step your hands and your hip back to half split, hamstring stretch. Inhale, pull forward. Exhale, press back. Inhale, pull forward. And exhale, press back. On your next inhale, come all the way back up to the top of the mat. Plant both palms. Tuck your right toes underneath. Send your left leg back to downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Again, pedal out your feet if you need to. On your next inhale, gently bend your knees, then look forward. As you exhale, step or float your feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze comes forward into a long, flat back. Make sure that we're lifting our tailbone versus rounding out through that low back. One more inhale here. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise. Gaze comes up through your hands. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. Inhale, arms rise. And as you exhale, bring your hands through heart center. Take a couple of breaths here. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then gently close your eyes. Come back to your connection with your body. Notice the length that you're feeling through your spine. Notice the connection of your toes to the mat. And come back to your breath. One more full inhale. And exhale. Gently blink your eyes open. Inhale, reach your arms up nice and high to the sky. Exhale, swan dive the arms to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Gaze comes forward into that long, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise. Gaze comes up through your hands. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, swan dive the arms to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise. Gaze is up through your hands. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, swan dive the arms to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to Chaturanga. Palms to the mat, step back, high plank position. We're gonna flow through modified version first. If you're comfortable with your Chaturanga and your Vinyasa flow, go ahead and meet us together in downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna soften both knees and the tops of your feet down onto your mat. Pinch your elbows into your side as you slowly lower your body all the way down onto your mat. From here, keep those elbows pinched in tight. Point the elbows backwards. Lift your knees and inhale to baby cobra. Exhale, slowly release. Press through your knees and your palms as you come all the way back up into downward facing dog. Take your time. That's our modified variation, flowing through Chaturanga and through your vinyasa. On your next inhale, gently bend your knees, then look forward. Exhale, step or float your feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, arms rise. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, swan dive the arms to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to Chaturanga. Palms to the mat, step back, high plank. Option to still flow through that modified version. Otherwise, you can shift forward on your toes, lowering half or all the way down, elbows in tight. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. And as you exhale, tuck your toes, find downward facing dog. Full breath here. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, send your right leg up nice and high to the sky. As you exhale, sweep that foot through between your hand. Soften your back foot down onto your mat at a 45-degree angle. And inhale, both arms up to rise, finding warrior one. Now in warrior one, I'm going to turn and face you here. In warrior one, our arms are straight up towards the sky. Pull your shoulders down and away from the ears, and you have the option to cactus through your arms if that's easier on your neck and shoulders. Listen to your body. We're thinking about that flared rib cage. Again, tuck it down into your torso. Find that connection. Our hips are square to the top of the mat, so you're going to take your left hip and turn it forward, kind of drawing your right hip backwards as you go. Push some pressure through your front heel and make sure the pinky edge of your back foot is connected to your mat. We want to feel that connection. In this position, make sure that you're staying in control of your breath. Now on your next inhale, we're going to come up and out of that front hip. Turn your back foot to a 90-degree angle here, and then lower down, straighten out through your arms, finding warrior two. Now in warrior two, draw your shoulders back and down. Lengthen out through your neck. Our shoulders are stacked directly over the tops of our hips. We're not leaning forward here. In this position, we should be able to look down and see our big toe on the inside of that right knee. If your knee has caved in and you can see your toes on the outside of the knee, got to turn that butt muscle on, open up that hip, look at your big toe on the inside of that knee. Your gaze is over your right fingertips. On your next inhale, turn your right palm up towards the sky, reach forward, keep your hips where they are. As you exhale, reverse your warrior, reaching straight up towards the sky, thinking length through your side body. Your left hand can be gentle on the left leg or swept around to the low back if that feels good to you. One more full inhale. And as you exhale, bring your right elbow to the right knee. Your left arm sweeps up and over, extended side angle. We've got a lot of options here. You can reach that arm straight up. You can reach it forward if that feels better. The only thing that we need to make sure is that we're not leaning onto that leg, but rather using our core strength to hold us there. We're almost using that arm also to open up through your chest here, so that our chest isn't aiming down towards the ground or towards your mat. On your next inhale, come all the way back up to warrior two. As you exhale, windmill your arms. Find Chaturanga as you flow through your vinyasa. So we step our right leg back. Option to modify down onto the knees or shift forward on the toes as you lower half or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. As you exhale, tuck your toes, find downward facing dog. On your next inhale, send your left leg up nice and high to the sky. Exhale, sweep that through. Find warrior one. Soften that back heel down at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, both arms up to rise. Option to exhale those arms down into that cactus position. Remember, do what feels best for your body. Keep your chest open, your shoulders drawn back and down. And remember, we're taking that flare out of our rib cage. We're tucking it into our torso. Find that connection. Our right hip is now turning towards the top of our mat, drawing your left hip back just slightly as you turn. Push through your front heel and make a connection with the pinky edge of your back foot down into your mat. Stay connected to your breath here. Stay present within the four corners of your mat. On your next inhale, come up and out of your front hip. Turn your back foot to a 90-degree angle. Lower down, lengthen your arms into warrior two. Remember, in warrior two, draw your shoulders back and down. Lengthen out through your neck. Our shoulders are stacked over the tops of our hips. We're not leaning forward yet. Take a peek down. Can you see your big toe on the inside of your knee? Remember, we want to see it on the inside of the knee. If that knee is caved in, we have to turn on the muscles in our hips to open that up for safety of our knee joint. On your next inhale, turn your left palm up, reach forward. Keep your hips where they are. As you exhale, reverse your warrior. Lengthen that arm straight up towards the sky. Your right hand can be gentle on the right leg or swept around to the low back if that feels best for you. One more inhale. And as you exhale, bring your left elbow to your left knee. Right arm sweeps up and over, extended side angle. Remember, you can reach straight up or forward. Just do what feels best for your body, as long as you're not leaning onto that leg. And we're trying to open up through our chest so it's coming off to the side. Keep your core strong. Stay connected to your breath. Inhale, come all the way back up to warrior two. Exhale, windmill your arms. Find Chaturanga as you flow through your vinyasa. Option to modify down onto the knees or shift forward on your toes as you lower half or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. And as you exhale, tuck your toes, find downward facing dog. On your next inhale, gently bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, step or float your feet between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, arms rise. Gaze comes up through your hands. Exhale, cactus the arms, baby back bend. Inhale, arms rise. And as you exhale, melt your arms off to the side, mountain pose. Roll your shoulders back and down. Come back to your breath. Next, we're going to do a balance posture. And if you feel most comfortable with a wall or something next to you that's sturdy that you can hold on to, I definitely recommend it. But of course, do what you can. challenge yourself. So what I'm going to have you do is go ahead and step your feet all the way together to touch before you get started. Now what that's going to do is set up your balance at your midline before you start, so that when we shift our weight onto one foot, there's a lot more chance that you'll have balance there because you'll already be centered. Now from here, what I want you to do is gently shift your weight onto your left leg. You're going to bring your right knee up to the height of your hip. Now from here, we're going to cross that leg over, finding figure four. Place just above your ankle, just above your knee. Bend your hips back behind you and open up this knee, okay? Option to hold on to something, of course. If you don't have anything to hold on to, okay, and you're trusting your balance, feel free to hold on to your foot and your knee. Maybe you even push your knee down just a little bit more to intensify that stretch, but that is totally optional. Now I'm going to show you this from a side view. I want you to focus on keeping your spine straight here and not rounding out through your back. This is going to cause aggravation, okay? So if you need to, okay, just stand up and hold this. Find the position that works best for you at the point where you're still able to keep that nice flat back. Now in your next inhale, we're going to come all the way back up to a single leg Tadasana. Reach those arms straight up towards the sky. Your knee is the same height as your hip. Flex your right toes up towards the sky. Take a full breath in. Now listen here, as you exhale, we're going to kick that right leg straight back behind you. Reach those arms forward for warrior three. Core is strong. You can be as flat or angled here as you need to be. Still option to hold on to something in front of you or to the side, but we do want a straight line from your spine all the way back to that extended leg. Try not to have a break at your hip. If you need to bend your knee, you can, but again, trying to have that straight line there as much as possible. On your next inhale, come all the way back up to the top, hinge tall, and as you exhale, melt your arms off to the side, mountain pose. Come back to your breath. Heel toe your feet all the way together to touch. Roll your shoulders back and down. Inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, shift your weight onto your right leg. Lift your left knee up to the height of your hip. Now from here, you're going to bend that foot inward, to the side, inwards here, and pull it in. So just above the ankle is just up above the knee. Bend that knee, send your hips back. Option to hold on to something or your foot and knee. You can take a little extra pressure here, pushing that knee open if you want to intensify that stretch through your hip. Remember, our focus here is on a flat back. We're grounding down through our entire right foot. So squeeze the muscle in your hip, through your butt, to hold you nice and strong. On your next inhale, come all the way up to single leg Tadasana. Arms extended up and overhead. Your knee is the height of your hip. Flex your toes up. One more inhale here. And as you exhale, kick your legs straight back behind you. Aim with your heel. Reach your arms straight forward out in front of you. Remember, the angle of your warrior three is completely dependent upon your practice. On your next inhale, hinge all the way back up to the top. And as you exhale, melt your arms off to the side. Mountain pose. Again, roll those shoulders back and down. Take a full breath. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive the arms to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to Chaturanga. Palms to the mat, step back, high plank. Option to modify down onto the knees or shift forward on the toes as you lower half or all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. As you exhale, tuck your toes, find downward facing dog. Full breath, inhale and exhale. Now on your next inhale, shift forward to a high plank position. Soften your knees down onto the mat. Go ahead and flow through a couple of cat-cow here. Inhale, lift your gaze, lower your belly, reach your tailbone up. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, reach your spine high, round your tailbone up and underneath. Inhale and exhale. One more time here, inhale and exhale. From here, we're gonna come all the way back into that tabletop position. From here, we're gonna bring our knees wide, toes together to touch for child's pose. Go ahead and extend your arms out long out in front of you. Melt your heart and your chest down onto your mat. On your next inhale, walk your hands all the way back to your knees. Go ahead and sweep your legs around to one side. Find yourself in a seated position. Now go ahead and scoot yourself all the way up to the top of your mat, to the point where your heels are just hanging off, because we're gonna lay back in a second, and when you do, your feet will end up perfectly on your mat. Now, I want you to move any meat out of the way that you need to find your sits bones. Sit up nice and tall, draw your shoulders back and down. This might be challenging. Squeeze your core, flex those quads. From here, reach and extend your arms out in front of you. Turn your palms up towards the sky. Take an inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, round out through your back. Lay one vertebrae down onto the mat at a time. Go nice and slow. Use your control, use your strength. Once you get down onto the mat, take a breath. Go ahead and bend your knees. Place your feet flat on your mat. Feet are at about hips width distance apart. Then gently rock your knees from side to side. From here, we're going to bring our knees back in towards the center. Again, making sure that our feet are at about hips width distance apart. Now, if you have really, really flexible hips, you probably know that about yourself. If so, I want you to heel toe your feet out to the edge of your mat so that your pinky toes are hanging off. If you did that, make sure your knees go out wide with you. If you don't have flexible hips, don't worry, me neither. You can leave your feet at hips width distance apart, knees at hips width distance apart. Now from here, regardless of where you are, you're gonna take your right leg, cross it over your left. Now just like when we did that figure 4 position, just above your ankle is just above your knee. Keep that glued together. Engage your core and set that entire leg setup over to the left side of your body until your right foot becomes connected with the ground, and then relax. You should feel a really nice stretch through the right side of your hip. If you're not feeling it yet, just try to relax. This is a really, really small muscle in your hip called your TFL. It's connected to your IT band, and it takes a little bit of concentration and relaxation in order for that muscle to allow you to stretch it. Now before you make any moves, I want you to engage your core, then use that core strength, maybe even your hands if you need to lift your legs back up and into the center. Just make sure you don't do that with a relaxed core because you don't want to irritate your back. Now we're just going to switch sides. So remember, you decide, are your feet at hips width distance or are they out to the width of the mat? From there, you're going to cross your left leg over. Just above your ankle is just above your knee. From here, core is turned on. Go ahead and set your left foot all the way over to the right side of your body. Once you get there, relax. Settle in, lean into this stretch through your hip. Go ahead and engage your core. Once your core is strong, you can use your hands if you need to. Lift your legs back up and in towards the center. Then go ahead and plant your feet back down onto your mat. And I want you to take the next couple of breaths here to just do whatever your body is needing and whatever it's calling for right now. Everybody's body kind of has maybe a different way that it would like to end your yoga practice. And it might be different every practice. So just listen to your body. Allow yourself to move and flow the way that you need to. And when you feel like you've honored and served your body, feel free to go ahead and flow into final Shavasana. If you have low back issues, maybe you're going to roll up a blanket or a towel and put it up underneath your knees. You can bend your knees if you need to here. Otherwise, extend your legs out long. Let your toes fall open. Our arms are to our side. Palms are up or down. Just do what feels right for you. We're no longer controlling our breath, but we're present within it. Gently come back to your breath. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You'll reawaken your body by taking a big inhale and exhale. Keep your eyes closed. Slowly turn and transition your body onto one side in the fetal position. Maybe you use your arm as a pillow. Again, keeping your eyes closed. Now slowly transition into a seated meditative posture. Remember, just like at the beginning of our practice, your seated position can be dependent upon your body. As long as your spine is straight, your shoulders are rolled back and down. Our hands are on our knees, palms down for grounding, or palms up for positive energy. gratitude for your practice today. Take a moment to appreciate your body. And appreciate not only what you did for your body, but what your body did for you. We'll finish our practice with 3 breaths. Go ahead and bring your hands to heart center. Press your thumbs firmly up against your heart. Our first breath is for kind intentions. Big deep breath in. Big open mouth exhale. Next, we're going to bring our thumbs to our lips. This breath is for kind words. Big deep breath in. Big open mouth exhale. Lastly, we bring our thumbs to the third eye, in the center of your forehead between the eyebrows. This breath is for kind thoughts. Big deep breath in. Big open mouth exhale. The light and energy within me honors the light and energy within you. We'll bow our heads together. Namaste. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.